My diary section is in the centre here. This is my diary section, red for today, red letter day. And I've got one for the beginning of the tab, and I've got one for my today marker, which is a bookmark. I've also got the current month labelled at the top here. You'll see why in a second. Okay, I use the lime tree fruits. Rain did a whole section of lime tree fruits inserts, and what I've got is, I actually started off using the weekly ones and it wasn't working, so I honed it down. This is the month on 2 pages, so that's why the red marker is there, so that I know this is the end of the month. So that is the previous bit of the year. I only keep 3 months before and after. I don't keep the whole year in because it's too chunky. So that's all the previous months just chucked in there together. This is what I use for appointments, so and things that I need to do. So, and what I'm doing for each week. Now the way these are organised, these are actually colour coded, pink, orange, blue, green, and whatever. They're set up as well-being, family, finances, and home, but I just ignore that and go by the colour. So anything that I need to do this month for pink stuff, organising my YouTube videos was one of the things that I needed to do, so that goes in here. And then I've got a section down here, this is purple. It actually is supposed to have a purple dot on it, but it doesn't yet. Then you've got start doing this month and stop doing this month. I don't really use those, they're just like one-off thing. Like one of the things I wanted to start doing this month is sorting out paying my bills weekly, and stop doing this month putting things off until tomorrow. So it's kind of just like a bit of fun thing to have. Then I've got things like when payments are due, when I'm having art journal weekends, when my library books are due, a particular day they're doing maintenance on my internet, so that's in yellow so that I don't forget. And that corresponding information is highlighted in yellow on here, so I can't possibly forget that I don't have any internet on the 29th of August. And then down here this is just for notes, but I don't have anything to go in there yet at the moment, but we're only halfway through the month. So last month I actually used that for a quote that I really liked that was applicable to the month. These are the month to view organisers from Lime Tree Fruits. Now it's actually supposed to be like 10 pages or something, but it wasn't working for me. However, the goals list and the debrief are really useful. So what I did was I took the goals brief list and the debrief, stuck them together and put a little tab on it. So that's my August, and then I've got September, and then I've got October, and then I've got November. So I don't need to split up anything. I've just got, this is it. This is what I used for August. So my goals for August were partially brought forward from July. So is my July planner in there somewhere? Oh, it should be here somewhere. I took the tab off because it was no longer relevant, so I can't find it now. So yeah, let me show you how it works. I broke down my things that I wanted to do in July for each section. So my video stuff, my class stuff, my admin, my finance, and my personal. Then on the back, I brought forward anything that hadn't been achieved, anything I wanted to do, or, as I was going through this, I thought, oh, well, I'm not going to get time to do this. It's the 3rd week of the month already. I'm not going to do this. I better do it next month. So I'll put it on here. This is my debrief. So this is what I based my August goals on. And anything that came forward from last month got highlighted in yellow because that is important. I need to get it done because I should have done it last month. When I've done it, I cross it out. If I've started it, I tick it so that I know I've started. If I move it forward like this, I've already decided that this is not going to happen this month, so I've moved it forward with a little arrow. And that's gone on to... Oh, it's not on here yet. That will go on to my debrief section. Normally I write them straight on. I don't know why I haven't done that. Maybe because it's a personal one, I thought, well, I might have time to do it later. But generally, if I know I'm not going to have I'm not going to be able to finish this, I put it onto here, and then that gets moved on to September when I set up September. So it's a really useful way of doing it, but without all the hassle of the intermediate bits. I've just got my goals for the month and how the month went, basically. Anything I need to carry forward, anything that I didn't do, anything that I thought of doing that I didn't need to do this month, but I think, oh, maybe I should do it next month, all that. And then I've got my inserts. Let me show you a finished week. My inserts are right, ignore the writing. These are actually the W.H. Smith's inserts, week on 2 pages, starting with Sunday. Now that's unusual. A lot of English people don't start with Sunday, but there's a very good logical reason for this. Sunday is my day off. I don't do anything on Sunday to do with work unless I absolutely have to. That day I absolutely had to. I didn't have a choice. But I had already taken another day off the week before, that's why. But Sunday is my day off. That's when I do my RP, that's when I do my gaming, that's when I do my writing. Anything I want to do for me, I do on a Sunday. Thursday is my errands day, so I generally am not in the studio on a Thursday. So these 2 days at the top are my out and about, going to do things, not for work, running errands type days. And then everything from here down is organisation. Now I use my planner this way. I know that's unusual. I could have got the vertical ones, but I didn't like the lines. I like to be able to change the size of my writing according to how important the task is. So this was really important. I did it in big. As I said before, what I tend to do is write in important stuff at the top. So, for instance, Helen was off on holiday this whole week, so I wrote that in at the top. That is a class that's opening. That is a class, something that I need to do for a class, a doctor's appointment, things I needed to do because that needed to happen for then, that sort of thing. And at a glance, I can see that most of this week was orange, therefore most of this week was to do with classes. I did 2 things for vlogs. I did 1 thing that was personal that I needed to do. I had 3 things that were really important that I mustn't forget. That's how it works. That's how my planner works. This is this week. No, sorry, this is last week. This is my Today tab. And it's just, every time you order from the book depository, every time you order from the book depository, you get one of these, and I thought it was a nice way of just reusing them. I just rounded off the corners and stuck some holes in it, and I think it's got the Great Wonders of the World or something. This is Beijing and the Colosseum and the Great Wall of China, and stuff like that. I've got sticky notes stuck to that for various things I need to do that are important or moving forwards or whatever. I've got that sticking out the bottom because I'm a lefty, and when I open my planner, it's just easier for me to do that. So this is at the bottom. Straight away I can do that. It's not easy for me to do this because I'm, like I say, that's not how I open my planner. When I open my planner, I do that and I do that and I'm there. I write my things in vertically. This is basically a to-do list. So for instance, today's list, set up typepad pages for Gail, that's admin, class stuff, doing some photographs, doing some sketching stuff, filming because Helen is out. And very roughly I split it, kind of not with lines or anything, but very roughly I split it into morning, afternoon and other stuff. And then important stuff goes at the top. The reason I turned it round this way is just because I have quite small writing, not when I'm scribbling obviously, as you can see, but I do have quite small writing. So what I was finding was writing this way on the page, I was ending up with only using that much of the page and then running out of room. So I thought, well, if I turn it around that way, I'll have plenty of room because I basically work on a list system. I do occasionally decorate like this. I had a I had an art journal weekend, as you can see, so I stuck an Artsyville sticker on there for the house because it was at my house. I put a red on there so that I could, because red is for today stuff, you know, just to visually block it out so that I knew I wouldn't accidentally book something on those days. Same with this week. I've got important stuff, my bestie's birthday, need to get her a gift. I've got a list of links that I'm working on. I've got, this is finance stuff. So, you know, visually it's all very obvious what I've got to do. And then next week, I don't have too much booked in advance for next week, but I do have this thing that I absolutely must not forget at all on pain of death. So it's got lots of yellow all over it so that I don't forget. Because I do forget, and I do tend to look at things and go, oh, I'll remember that. But I don't, which is why I needed a Filofax. Let me just stick that. I pulled that off somehow now and I don't know how I've done it. That's weird. It was all stuck on just now. Oh, there we go. I had to put a piece of card behind it because it was too thin for the clip. Yeah, so that's my diary section and that is working really well. And like I say, next month I've already got, this is an appointment that is a regular thing every month. So it's done for this month, so I've moved it to next month. It's just on a sticky tab. I've got my goals for September and my debrief. And anything that I already know I'm going to have to do, I put on here. So I've already got sort out web hosting by the 15th of the 11th. I'm going to have to start looking at that in September, in October, so I've put it on my list for my debrief for September. So I won't forget about it because when I get to my debrief in September, straight away, organisation for October's list. Ah, yes, I must. First thing I must do on here in yellow, sort out web hosting for November. So that I can't forget it. But now I can just ignore it because I know I've written it down. So that's just the rest of my year set up. Again, it's all the same. I've got my month on 2 pages on the outsides. Then I've got my debrief and goals with my little tab for that month, so it's easy to find the month. And then I've got my weeks. Now, some of this, like this one, this starts Thursday the 5th of September, but this week is September as well. So what I'll do is, when this week is finished, I'll move this piece of paper into here. So I can continue that week in September, as opposed to half working in August. So it does make sense. Basically, when this page is finished, that's the end of August. This page is September, so once I get to there, I will move this into the next month and it will become part of this section. So yeah, that's my setup and it's really working for me. I'm really, as you can see, I mean, I've kept it up for weeks now, which for me, for a planner, is virtually unheard of. Usually I make it all pretty and I get it all set up and then I put it in a drawer and forget about it. But I haven't this month. Whoops, I don't want to put all that together. I haven't this month. I've put it all together and I'm keeping it up. So yeah, I know the system is working for me if I'm constantly going back to it, and I use this every single day. I don't suppose there's many people can say that they use every section of their planner every single day when it's this stuffed, but I do. So yeah, and then generally this sits open on my desk like this, either to that page or that page, depending on what part of the week I'm on, and it just sits there, not taking up too much room. There you go, that's it, that's my Filofax. That is my personal Filofax for organisation on a day-to-day basis. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I will be back next with, I'll probably do my personal for Midori next because I haven't got my project management one set up yet.